Peace and blessings, everybody. This is just a quick follow-up to the um just tearing down some of the myths of motherhood that they give you when you have a baby that cries incessantly. And one of the things that I wanted to talk in my previous video, but it got a little long, was the high needs baby. Yeah, that is a myth. There is no such thing. I don't care what Dr. Sears said because I went on that website and I saw Dr. Sears speak about a high needs baby and they gave some characteristics of a high needs baby. And I'm going to go down that list now. Here are the characteristics that Dr. Sears and other websites talk about this too of high needs baby. The characteristics are your baby is intense. Number two, the baby is hyperactive. Number three, the baby is draining. Number four, the baby feeds frequently. Number five, the baby is demanding. Number six, the baby awakens frequently. Number seven, the baby is unsatisfied all the time. Number eight, the baby is unpredictable. Number nine, the baby is super sensitive. And I'm saying it in that inflection because that's the way I feel about the things that I've read. Number 10 is you can't put him or her down, not for a second. Number 11 was the baby is not a self-soother. And number 12, and this was the last one, is that it's separation sensitive. Now, some people are very much advocates for Dr. Sears and this concept of a high needs baby. And as although I appreciate them trying to give some characteristics of a baby that might have some issues or might have what I and Ina May Gaskin has called a particular, she calls it a particular temperament. And that particular temperament is basically the temperament that's associated with that baby. So you can't say that it's high needs, right? Because a baby cannot do anything for themselves. So they are high needs by nature. Anybody who cannot do anything for themselves have needs that are high because they can't meet their needs themselves. Calling a baby a high needs baby is just so unacceptable to me because it makes the parent feel like my baby has more needs than the next baby. And all babies have needs. It's just that your particular baby, like my baby, right? Their needs are less adjustable than the next baby's needs. Meaning, whereas you might see a stereotypical concept of a baby, the baby's sleeping in the crib, you hear the mobile going around singing lullaby good night, and the baby is sleeping soundly. And that is not your baby. Your baby is screaming, crying, fists are clenched, kicking. They are nursing you all the time. They're aggressive nursers. They are just, you feel like you're going to pull your hair out because nothing you do or nothing that you've been doing is satisfying the baby's needs. And to say that that means that your baby is high needs and that they'll grow. Not only are they high needs babies, Dr. Sears says that they grow into high needs toddlers. That is completely untrue. And I welcome anybody's disagreement that a high needs baby automatically turns into a high needs toddler. I don't agree with that sentiment at all. I had a baby that exhibited all those characteristics. My baby girl was intense, she was hyperactive, she was draining, but I was a first time mom. So, of course, a first time nursing mom. So she drained me both figuratively and literally. And because I wasn't getting adequate sleep, and neither was she, I was drained. I didn't have proper nutrition when I was nursing her because I didn't have enough energy to eat. So she experienced or exhibited all of those characteristics. And it had me believing that, oh, I have a high needs baby. And it made me feel like something was wrong with my parenting and the baby. And I don't think that saying that is helpful to moms because what they do is go down the list, but they don't talk about any solutions. Now, Ina Mae Gaskin, who is uh, um, a midwife and has better birthing results than most hospitals in the United States, if not all of them, she dismisses the high needs baby term too, because she understands, like I understand now, that a baby has needs that need to be met. And because they don't know any other way of communicating those needs, they cry. And that your baby might have a temperament that's not as adjustable as the next baby. And lots of women experience that. It's not rare to have a baby who's not as adjusted or not as adjustable than the next baby. That is his or her temperament. One of the solutions is wearing your baby. And if you have tried wearing your baby and the baby still screams, I think you might have to adjust the way in which you're holding your baby. Not all babies like the hug hold. Some babies want to be held on the back. That's as she got older, I held my baby on her back. Some babies like to be held at the hip, right? Some babies need to be an environment that's not as stimulating, meaning you might have to dim the lights a little bit. You might have to put on soothing music a little bit, right? You might have to nurse that baby to sleep until they're old enough to put themselves to sleep. The most important thing to do when you have a baby that has a non adjustable or a difficult adjustable temperament, right, is to put them on a sleep schedule or a schedule. Now, Dr. Seals says that high needs baby and schedules don't coincide. You can't put a high needs baby on a schedule. Yes, you can. When my baby was psychologically ready, and there's no count, I said psychologically ready because she was able to be put to bed after she had nursed and sleep for a continuous amount of time. I knew she was ready for that because she no longer nursed at my breast till her eyes were rolling in the back of her head. She would nurse and be content. Also, I had slowly started to introduce solids to her, just fruit, but I knew she was full, and she would make her she would do a bowel movement before she went to bed. So I read a book by Dr. Waswell, and it's called um, Healthy Sleep, Happy Baby. And I followed those directions along with the attachment parenting style, meaning I wore her during the day, but when it was time to put her down for a nap, I followed those directions. I kept a schedule. I got her up at the same time. We did the same things every day for the first like 3.5 to 4 weeks to get her adjusted to the schedule. I made sure she ate a good breakfast. I exposed her to light. I took her outside if the weather was permissible. And then once I got home, my husband had already put up light blocking shades. I would put her in that light blocking shade room, her room, um, turn off TVs, turn off cell phones, and I would put her to sleep for a nap. And she would sleep for an hour. Now she sleeps for over an hour. But yeah, that's what I did. And then when she woke up from her sleep, I would stimulate her some more, feed her a good lunch, take her out, run my errands. By the time I got back from her errands, she was tired again. I would set her down for her next nap, lay her down for her next nap. Then when she got up from her next nap, I would feed her, like nurse her, stimulate her some more. Then I would start the bedtime routine. The bedtime routine was something very simple. And they say keep it simple to keep your sanity. Basically, I would run her bath. I would put her favorite things inside of the bath. It was a baby bath, not a big bath. And I would let her sit and play with it for a little while, her bath toys, wash her up, take her out, massage her with shea butter. Like you oil them down because they need moisture in a massage like fashion. I would nurse her again. I would read her a book, and I would lay her down and close the door. Now, this didn't happen overnight. It took a while. You have to be consistent. That's what a schedule is. It requires you to be consistent. When I was not around and I had to go grocery shopping, my husband kept her on the same schedule and would give her my express milk. But now she expects to go to sleep at the same time every day. She rubs her eyes. It's time to go to bed. When I put her close to the crib, she dives in the crib because she knows she wants to go to sleep. And this is what I'm talking about. People giving um, non positive attributes or names to things that babies are exhibiting and hurting mothers and not giving them real solutions. What is the solution if it's a high needs baby? Instead of just labeling something, what are some solutions? I say do research on your own. There is no medical term, there is no extensive research outside of the internet. I'm talking about medical wise on a high needs baby. There are none. You have a baby with a temperament, and the temperament requires close touch. That's fine. Where are your baby? If you can be at home, where are your baby? If your baby is with a caretaker, see if they would be willing to wear the baby. The key is to get the baby comfortable and get the baby to stop crying and be more well adjusted. And then once they get to a certain point, putting them on a schedule. And they want to be scheduled. For some babies are carefree. They don't need a schedule. You can kind of lug them around. They're easygoing. When you put them down, they go to sleep. And thank God for those kind of babies. But I didn't have one of those. And for you women out here who also don't feel discouraged. You don't have a high needs baby. You just have a baby. Okay? So if you want to do a little bit more research on what to do with a baby that temperament is just not well adjusted all the time, I suggest going to a midwife, speaking to them, right? And doing a lot of research on Ina May Gaskin. She is spectacular. And she gives a lot of solutions to a lot of problems that mothers, whether you're nursing or not, experience. So I hope this helps somebody. And give those babies crying and all a kiss from me. Until next time, peace and blessings.